people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The following program is paid for by Barbara Arnwine.
The topics, views, and opinions expressed on the air and via All Igniting Change with Barbara Arnwine, platforms by host Barbara Arnwine Esquire, guests, and supporters are their own and are independent of any organization, entity. Nothing said on the show or any of its platforms constitutes a client-attorney relationship or serves as legal advice counsel. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to Igniting Change, its platforms, or the show's host. It's time now for Igniting Change, a weekly provocative and empowering program where you, the listener, can ignite change. Now here's your host, Barbara Arnwine.
Get up, stand up for your right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Igniting Change. Oh, we know it's the morning time for you out there on we would say the great West Coast and all throughout my mighty Southwest and parts of the Midwest. Oh, we're so glad you're here. We got a great show for you because Daryl Jones and I were on the road last weekend, and we were in the mighty state of Texas, down in beautiful San Antonio, not just for the NCAA, but we were there for the HBCU All-Stars game. So we're going to talk about that, but we got some things to talk about before we get there. So we have some amazing guests. Ooh, you're going to love our guests today. So I can't wait to get there. And let me introduce and bring up the boldest attorney in the United States, one of the nation's most foremost, boldest leaders. He is courageous. He's brilliant. He's strategic. He is none other than the chair of the board of the Transformative Justice Coalition. I'm talking about nobody else but Daryl D. Jones, Esquire. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, Barbara. It must be Tuesday, must be noon Eastern Standard Time, because we're talking about igniting change. And, Barbara, we're not just talking about igniting change generally. We're talking about igniting change across this nation and watching this country come together. Last Saturday, April the 5th, we previewed it. We had someone on from the Declaration for American Democracy, which is one of the partners of that protest that went on Saturday across the country. It was just incredible. We were excited to be a part of it while we were down in San Antonio and all that was going on there, Barbara. My goodness, with the folks we have coming up on this show today, Barbara, it's just going to be an exciting show. I can tell you, I can hardly wait because I know that the brothers that we were with in San Antonio at the panel discussion for the HBCU All-Stars and the Social Justice panel, as well as with the folks that we were with at the Hands Off rally in San Antonio. Barbara, this is just going to be a phenomenal show. It's a phenomenal time that we're living in. People, you've got to go ahead and buckle up, because we're in for a ride, but it's a ride that we're going to tame. What did we learn, Barbara, about those black cowboys? They know how to tame a wild cattle. We're going to tame this cattle, Barbara.
I tell you, they brought that lasso over from Africa, folks. When you see those cowboys, you better understand that lasso was an African invention. But we got a lot to talk about. And one thing we want to do as we move into the show is to remind you that today, as we're talking, the United States House of Representatives is voting on what they call the SAVE Act. The SAVE Act is horrible, everybody. It's anti-democracy. It would destroy the right to vote for millions of Americans. You want to make sure that you take down this number, 202-224-3121. Call your House of members, call your senators. You tell them, because they're going to be voting all week. This is the rule vote at 12 today, but they're going to be voting on Thursday, and they're going to be voting thereafter on this SAVE Act. And you want to say no that you want them to vote no on the SAVE Act. We do not want to destroy our democracy. We got to do everything we can to save our democracy. So right now, put that into your phone, 202-224-3121. Make that call. We need you to be active because the full House will be voting on Thursday on this act. Okay, that's one warning, right, Daryl? But we got more.
Absolutely.
Yes, go ahead. Why don't you take the next subject up? And we want to remind people
Barbara.
to the substance of the rest of the show.
Absolutely, Barbara. We want to encourage people to be mindful of what's happening in North Carolina with the North Carolina Supreme Court and the decision they're taking up there. This is a wild, wild situation, Barbara, because there, we had a state Supreme Court election that went on in November of 2024, and as it stands, it is the only election from last year that has not been certified by a state. And it hasn't been certified by the state of North Carolina because there's an action that has been brought by one of the contestants. Judge Griffin is the conservative judge out of North Carolina that's running for the North Carolina Supreme Court against Judge Riggs. The difference of votes, and folks, this is where it's really the rubber meets the road. The difference in votes between the winner, Judge Riggs, and the loser, Judge Griffin, was 734 votes. Well, what's happening now, folks, is that Judge Griffin ain't giving up, he's not giving in, and so now he's filed all these lawsuits to try to have voters' votes discounted, not counted. It's some 65,000 votes that he has challenged. And this would be a first in the nation because he's not just challenging a person's vote and saying that there was something wrong with the vote that they casted, that there was a hanging chad or anything like that, or voter fraud. What this allegation is that they shouldn't have been allowed to count because the people's registration were not on file with the Board of Elections. This is incredible. And they have just a change of rules in North Carolina with regards to what needed to happen for people to be registered to vote. And so this challenge goes to their initial registration and whether or not, because they were not listed with their Board of Elections, that their vote now shouldn't be counted. Folks, we've got to keep a hold of this, keep a count of this, keep watching what happens. We're going to stay right on top of it because we need to know that once you count your vote has been counted and every vote has been protected, Barbara.
All right, and don't forget, folks, we are, quote, economically fasting against the Walmart all week long. Keep that Target one going. Don't forget, no DEI, no buy. Go to tjcoalition.org for more information on the No DEI, No Buy campaign. All right, we have some amazing guests. Woo-hoo-hoo. I am so thrilled to introduce our guest to you today. And we have, just an amazing, four brilliant, awesome guests. I want to start off by introducing the head of the HBCU All-Stars Social Justice Programming, one of the nation's most brilliant criminal defense lawyers. He is in charge of the Davis Boltzmann's law firm's criminal defense and trial divisions. He's co-host of the Black Man's Lab live session. He is a United States Naval Academy graduate where he played varsity basketball and majored in political science. He's a graduate of Georgia State University's College of Law, where he was recognized in Who's Who among colleges and universities and awarded the Thurgood Marshall Award for his outstanding achievement as a law student. He's among less than the 3% of black lawyers in Georgia who received the honor of being selected as Rising Star by Super Lawyer Magazine. 3% of the lawyers, period, in Georgia. He is named Civil Rights Attorney of the Year by the Gate City Bar Association and Humanitarian of the Year by the Atlanta chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Incorporated. He's co-founder of Let Us Make Man. I want to welcome back to Igniting Change, none other but the amazing attorney, Mawuli Davis. Hey, Mawuli. All right. Well, he's either on silence, on mute, and has unmuted himself, but he will be joining the show.
I'm sure with that introduction, Barbara, that introduction, I'm sure has some speechless, trying to find his mute button, because it has to be something. Because Mawuli is a Kappa, and so to be recognized by the Phi Beta Sigma, I think he's just speechless.
Right.
Mawuli, have you been able to come off mute?
All right, well, that's all right. Let's move on to one of our other amazing guests. Woohoo! Daryl, I'm going to let you bring up our next guest. She is the Legal Director, Chief of Staff, Black Voters Matter Fund. Go ahead, Daryl.
Oh, yeah, Barbara. My goodness. You talk about one of the brightest attorneys in America. This is that person. She is the legal director. She's the chief of staff with Black Voters Matter. We just consider her a friend. We consider her our partner, our comrade in arms. I can tell you that she's the former supervisor of the civil rights attorney with the U.S. Department of Education. She's the former civil rights attorney at the Department of Education under their Office of Civil Rights. She was also the owner of the law office of April England Albright. Folks, please give it up at a warm reintroduction. Welcome back to Attorney April Albright. Welcome back, April.
Hey, April. All right. Well, we'll keep going. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep going. We're having some issues here, but we will keep moving with our introductions. We want to introduce our next guest, who is new to the show, and he is someone who we were so honored to meet on last Saturday while we were at the Hands Off protest in San Antonio. Oh, folks, if you weren't out in those streets on Saturday, you should have been. If you could have been, you should have been. If you could have been. The streets were amazing. In San Antonio, the protest, the marching, when I walked up to the main plaza, I looked down and there were marchers coming at least, it looked like miles and miles and miles. So we were just so affected by it. And Daryl and I were fortunate to join into the rally, to join into the marching, to talk to people all over. And one of the people we met was Svehla, who is an amazing leader of 5051, one of their amazing local leaders. And I am just proud to welcome him to Igniting Change. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Barbara. Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you so much for having me on today.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for that amazing leadership you are showing out in San Antonio. Just amazing. And Daryl, I'm going to let you bring up our last outstanding guest. Woo-hoo-hoo. He is someone who just blew our minds listening to him speaking on Friday. Daryl, I'm going to let you have that honor.
Thank you so much, Barbara. It was just a phenomenal event and opportunity to meet this brother, Professor Marcel Salas. And Professor Salas was a member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee and the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense in the 1960s. He teaches at the university level. He's president of the San Antonio Community Radio, WKRV. He also trains public school teachers in ethnic studies curriculum and wrote curriculum for the state of Texas at the State Board of Education. He has international experience, including the development of economic programs for the city of San Antonio. He established the first economic relationship between Martha-King, South Africa, and San Antonio. He served as a member of the International Affairs Committee for the city of San Antonio while he was a district city councilman. He's written all of these different books and my goodness, just all over the place. He teaches African American studies. He's a political theorist, civil rights activist, and Texas politics, talks about inequality. And what I love about him, Barbara, if you look for the heart of a movement, if you're looking for someone who's got your back, if you're looking for somebody who's going to say, I'm going to stand with the young people, profess